Welcome to the Stateless Standard, where we hoist the golden torch against the shadows of power, myth, and hidden agendas. In a world where the elite play God with science, money, and the human spirit, today we drag into the light one of the strangest figures of the 20th century, Jack Parsons. Rocket pioneer, occultist, playboy, and tragic fool. This isn't just a biography, it's a cautionary tale about how the productive genius of one man gets co-opted, corrupted, and ultimately discarded by the status machine. Buckle up for sex magic and a rocket man. June 17, 1952. A quiet Pasadena suburb, a massive explosion rips through the night. The house of Jack Parsons is reduced to rubble. When police arrive, they find the brilliant rocket scientist, once called the real-life Iron Man, mutilated, dying. His last words, according to one officer, "But I'm not finished yet." Was it a lab accident, handling volatile chemicals, or something darker, tied to the rituals, the enemies, the secrets he carried? We'll never know for sure. But one thing is clear. Jack Parsons helped build the rockets that would take man to the moon, yet he died broke, blacklisted, and broken. Born Marvel Whiteside Parsons in 1914 to a wealthy Los Angeles family, young Jack grew up in luxury on Pasadena's Millionaire's Row. His parents divorced early. His father vanished, leaving a wound that never healed. Raised by his mother and grandfather, he devoured science fiction, Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, seeing them not as fantasy, but as blueprints. By his teens, he was already experimenting with gunpowder and homemade rockets in the backyard, much to the horror of neighbors. Back then, rockets weren't science. They were pulp fiction nonsense. Yet Parsons saw the future. He teamed up with childhood friend Ed Foreman, his lifelong collaborator, and later Frank Molina. Together, they formed the Caltech-affiliated GALCIT Rocket Research Group, nicknamed the Suicide Squad for their reckless, explosive tests in Arroyo Seco Canyon. They blew things up on Halloween night near Devil's Gate Dam. Fitting, wasn't it? Their work was groundbreaking. They pioneered liquid-fueled rockets and castable composite propellants that made modern rocketry possible. Their experiments birthed the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, and Aerojet Engineering Corporation, the foundations of NASA's space program. Parsons' innovations helped win World War II and put boots on the moon. But while the state and military soaked up his genius, Parsons was chasing something else entirely. In 1939, he was introduced to the Ordo Templi Orientis, the O.T.O., Aleister Crowley's sex magic cult. Parsons dove in headfirst. He bought a mansion on Orange Grove Boulevard, the infamous parsonage, and turned it into a lodge for the O.T.O. Open relationships, late-night rituals, drugs, alcohol, wild parties. Tenants included Manhattan Project physicists, journalists, and even a young L. Ron Hubbard. Hubbard and Parsons became fast friends. They performed the Babalon Working, a series of sex magic rituals to summon a goddess and birth a new aeon. Parsons believed it worked. He met Marjorie Cameron, his new lover and muse. But Hubbard betrayed him. He ran off with Parsons' money, and his girlfriend, Betty, Parsons' ex-wife's sister. Hubbard later founded Scientology and claimed he'd infiltrated the cult to destroy it. Convenient, right? The O.T.O. scandals combined with his occult reputation made Parsons radioactive. JPL and Aerojet distanced themselves. The FBI investigated him for perverse practices. During the Cold War, his security clearances were revoked. The man who helped build the American rocket program was blacklisted, broke, and reduced to working as a gas station attendant and car mechanic. He tried to rebound, consulting for the Navajo missile program, even eyeing a job with Israel's rocket program, but the state had moved on. In 1952, desperate for cash, he took a rush order to make explosives for a Hollywood film set. The next day, June 17th, his lab exploded. Official story, accidental handling of fulminate of mercury. But the blast was so powerful, it severed limbs and blew a hole in his face. Suicide? Assassination? We're left with questions and a body count of 1. Jack Parsons was a walking contradiction, a libertarian-minded innovator who built the tools of empire yet chased transcendence through Crowley's sex magic. He embodied the productive individual crushed by the very institutions he helped create. The state took his rockets and his mind, then discarded him when he became inconvenient. This is the real story of power. Geniuses build the world, statists steal it, and the people pay the price. Parsons died young, but his legacy lives. In JPL, in NASA, and in the warning his life screams, beware the marriage of science and state. it always ends in flames. If this torch has ignited your skepticism, subscribe to the Stateless Standard for more unfiltered truth. Like and share to spread the light. Comment below, was Jack Parsons a victim of the system? Or did he burn himself out chasing forbidden knowledge? Until next time, keep questioning the overlords. The people against the powerful. Liberty endures.